Hello, everybody. We want to welcome you to Loving Arm Church. We're kicking Bible study here instead of Wednesday. We on Tuesday night here, trying to get it done. So we're in the book of 2 Samuel 4 and 5. Tonight's method: Jonathan, Saul's son, had a son that was lame in his what feet. Now remember, before Saul died, him and David on his journey, he made David promise if anything happened to him, that he would look after his seed and his seed. And so we're going to look at what happened here. Okay. 4. And when Saul's son heard that Abner was dead in Hebron, his hands were feeble. Good God Almighty. And all of Israel uh, were troubled. And Saul's son had two men that was captains of bands, and the name of them was whatever his name, and the other name was Rechab or something like that. And the son of uh, Ramah the Bethelite, and the children of Benjamin, and the Berhord, Berhord also was reckoned in Benjamin. And Berhord fled in wherever that were, and were sojourning there until this day. And Jonathan, the son, Saul's son, had a son that was lame in his foot. He was 5 years old when the tidings came of Saul and Jonathan for out of Jariah, and his nurse took him up and fled. And it came to pass, as she made haste to flee, that he failed and became lame. His name was Mephibosheth, and the sons of Ramah, whoever, the Beardite, Rager, and whoever went and came about the heat of the day into the house of Ishbosheth, where he laid upon his bed at noon. And when and they came hither in the midst of his house, as though they would which fetch fetched wheat, and they smote him under the fifth rib, whoever his name, and the other two boys, and they escaped. And these was two of the captains of his army here. Okay. But when they came into the house, he laid in his bed as he in his bedchamber, and they smote him, and they slew him, and beheaded him, and took his head, and gat them up through the plains all the night. And they brought the head of Mephibosheth to David in Hebron, and said unto the king, Behold, the head of Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, thine enemy, which sought thy life, and the Lord had avenged my lord the king, as uh, this day this day of Saul and his seed. And David answered these two young men, and the sons of Ramer, the Beardite, I'm saying it right, and said unto them, As the Lord liveth, who hath redeemed my soul out of all adversaries. And when no when one told me, saying, Behold, Saul is dead, thinking to have brought good tidings, I took him and I slew him in Ziklag, who thought that I would have given him a reward for his tidings. How much more, when a wicked man have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed, shall I not therefore now require his blood on thine hand, and take ye away from the earth? And David commanded his young men, and they slew them, and cut uh, off their hands and their feet, and hung them up over the pool of Hebron. But they took the head of Ebosheth, I'm saying that right, and buried it in the sepulchre of Abner in Hebron. That is chapter 4 here. And so David was the type of king that he did not deal with the evil things or the evil things that came their way. And so what happened was is that like when they brought the Sergeant of Torah, the tidings of Saul and Jonathan being dead, they thought that they would find favor in David's eyes by slaying something that God didn't. Instead of them telling the truth and say, hey, you know, Saul and them had slain and stuff like that, but David and probably killed him anyway because he ran away from the battle. But nevertheless, these two men went to kill this man, hoping to gain some type of favor in the eyes of David and of Saul. And so David slew him. So having said that, we're going to continue on with 5:25 verses in there. And came all the tribe of Israel unto David in Hebron, and spoke and saying, Behold, we are thy bones, and we are thy bones and thy flesh. And in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou wast he thou was he that leadeth out and brought in Israel. And the Lord said unto thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over them. So all the elders of Israel came to the king in Hebron, and King David made a league with them in Hebron, because before the Lord, and they anointed David king over Israel. So now David is king over Israel and king over Judah. Just remember, at this point in time, that Judah separated himself from Israel and became his own tribe. And so that's where you have the difference. And so David is of the tribe of Judah. And so now he's king over all Judah and Israel. And David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for 40 years. In Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. In Jerusalem he reigned 3 years over Israel. He reigned 30 and 3 years, over all Israel and Judah. So he began his reign, um, and he was before Abner and them died or whatever. He was 7 years over Israel in 6 months, and then 30 some years combined. And so then that's become his 40 years that he wronged over Israel. So he started in Judah now, until all this thing worked out. So it wasn't like uh, Jonathan Saul died and all of a sudden David was king. It took 7 years for that to happen. I just wanted to show you that. And the king and his men went to Jerusalem unto the Jebusite and the habitation of the land, and spoke unto David, saying, Except thou take away the blind and the lame, thou shalt not come in hither. Thinking David cannot come in hither. Nevertheless, David took the stronghold of Zion. The, the same is the city of David. And David said on that day, Whosoever goes up to the gutter and smite the Jebusites, and the lame and the blind, thou that are hated of David's soul, for he shall be chief and captain. Wherefore they said, The blind and the lame shall not come unto this house. And David dwelled in the fort, and called it the city of David. And David built a round about in a mill and outward. And David went up and grew great. And the Lord God of hosts was with him. And when, what's this man's name? Haman, the king of Tash, sent a message to David, and cedar trees, sent a messenger to David, and cedar trees, and carpenter, and masons, that they build David a house. And David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom to his people Israel. Okay. He exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem. Wow. After he was came unto Hebron, and there went yet the sons and daughters born by David. And there was yet uh, sons and daughters born of David. So now David, outside of the other 4 or 5 wives he had, he go and get him some more. Lord have mercy. And these be the names of they were born unto him in Jerusalem. And I'm not even going through all these different names here. But here's all the David's kids here. Okay, and so we're gonna get down to 17 after we get all these different names that he had kids, because the only somebody really is going to matter is Solomon, because Solomon is going to carry the throne after most of them killed themselves after David died. But anyway, let's get into 17. But when the Philistines heard that they had anointed David king of Israel, all the Philistines came up to seek David, and David heard of it and went down to the hole. The Philistines also came and spread themselves in the valley of Rephidim. And David inquired of the Lord, saying, Shall I go up to the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them into my hands? And the Lord said unto David, Go up, for uh, I will doubtless deliver the Philistines into thy hand, or whatever that word is. And David came unto Bear P Zum, whatever the name, and David smote them, and said, The Lord have broken forth unto my enemy before me, and as a uh, branch of water. Therefore he called the name of this place Baal Perazim, if I'm saying it right. And there they left they left their image, and David and his men uh, burnt them. And the Philistines came up yet again and spread themselves in the valley of Rephidim. I'm saying it right. And the Lord and David inquired of the Lord again, and he said, "Thou shalt not go up." So now this time, God told David, "Don't go up, but fetch a compass behind them." So now what God going to do? God is going to show David how to take care of this problem. Don't face them head on. I want you to fetch a compass behind them. In other words, I want you to go behind them and come unto them against the mulberry tree. Now look how precise God is being. I want you to come back around him and come over against this mulberry tree. And let it be, when thou hearest the sound of the going in the top of the mulberry tree, that then thou shalt be stirred thyself, be stirred himself, whatever. For then shall the Lord go out before thee, and to smite the host of the Philistines. So look what God told him. Okay, no, don't go pursue them up. Don't go straight up against them. I want you to come back behind them, go against this mulberry tree, and listen for the sound of this tree. Some sound was going to happen. And when you hear this sound, you're going to know that I'm before you. Okay? And so, and David did so. He did exactly what God said, as the Lord had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from uh, God, uh, Gibeah until it came to Gaza. So that is chapter 5 here. And so now they had established David as king, and all of a sudden the Philistines heard about that. And so now they come to battle against the new king of Israel. The first time, God said, "Oh, go ahead and take care of him." David went to take care of him. But the second time, excuse me, God did not give him such instructions as to go forward, but go behind, to wait, to listen. And when you hear that I'm going before you, act. That should be the story of our life. Lord, what do we do next? Lord, how do I do this next? Lord, how do I handle this? Lord, what's next? What's next? Why? Because he wants to lead and guide us in and out of battle. And that is the essence of what we learn here tonight. And we found out that Jonathan had a son. We also found out that that promise that David had, we're going to see with David earned that son with Mephibosheth, David's son here. So this is all we have tonight. If you like what we hear tonight, you ought to go to LebanonChurchWaukegan.org. Again, that is LebanonChurchWaukegan.org. Go to our live broadcast tab. A drop-down menu will appear. Please select the selection. Let's say Bible study, join our Bible study. You will have a video library of the Bible study and also a link to go live where you can come and ask the pastor any and every question that you want. Till next time, may God bless you and forever keep you in your care as we get ready to go live here now.